Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. Our generation is getting absolutely screwed financially, and it's not entirely our fault. Inflation is destroying our purchasing power, gas prices are insane, housing costs are through the roof, and it feels like everything is rigged against us before we even get started. Now, you've probably felt like this too, watching older generations tell us to just work harder while they bought their houses for $50,000 that now cost $500,000. Maybe you've seen your friends give up completely, saying, what's the point, when a basic apartment costs more than their entire paycheck. I get it, man. The frustration is real, and honestly, it's justified. But here's the thing, we really only have two choices. We can give up, complain, and fall into hopelessness, or we can decide to fight back and control what we can control, and when you think about it, there's really only one option that leads anywhere good. Because while we can't control inflation, gas prices, or corporate greed, we can control our spending habits, our discipline, and the decisions we make every single day. Today, I'm breaking down exactly what we can and can't control as young men trying to build up wealth in this messed up economy. This isn't about pretending everything is fine. It's about making the best out of a bad situation and putting ourselves in the strongest position possible. So let's first address the external things we can't control, because there's a lot of them. And to be honest, they're very impactful on us as well. The first one that we have to mention is inflation. Ever since 2020 and the virus took over, inflation has been crazy. And the thing with inflation that we tend to miss is that if inflation rates raise crazily and then they drop, that doesn't necessarily mean that prices drop as well. That just means the new baseline has been raised, right? And so I think a very common idea, especially around the big inflation rise around the virus era, 2020, 2019, is that, oh, this will all work itself out, prices will come back down eventually. And no, that never happened. All that happened is that the rate that prices increased came back down. It wasn't drastically rising like it once did. And so yeah, did prices come down a little bit? Sure, but like they didn't drop. They didn't drop back to what they used to be. And so that's a major problem because we have to buy things in every aspect of our life. Inflation is hitting our food, it's hitting our housing, it's hitting everything. It's hitting our clothes, it's hitting our wants, and it's hitting our needs, right? Inflation kills everything, and it kills the dollar we earn, because now earning $20 an hour is nothing like earning $20 an hour 10 years ago, right? That $20 doesn't get you as far at all. And inflation is a big thing, and it's a big deal. Another thing, and it's very relevant currently, is gas prices. I don't know, maybe at the time of this being posted, it's changed a lot, or when you're seeing this, I guess, it's changed a lot. But right now, gas prices are insane. I don't live in California or LA, but I've heard it's getting up to like $7, $8. Even some pump screenshots have shown $9.99, so pretty much $10 a gallon. That is insane. Where I live, it's pretty moderate, but we're still getting up to 4 to 4.5 when usually we're down to the low 3s. So it's overall ridiculous. And again, it's another external thing we can't control at all, but it's something that heavily impacts our wallet. Of course, we can talk about wars and global instability, of that just affecting inflation and gas prices as well. But another thing for sure is the housing market. The housing market is absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, just homes are so expensive. It's honestly going to be hard to buy a house, which is scary. I'm still in the younger age range, right? I'm still in my younger 20s, so I'm not going to be buying a house tomorrow, but definitely in the next 5 to 7 to 10 years, I'm definitely going to be looking to purchase one, and I'm just not looking forward to that at all. Hopefully I can make a lot of money before then, but I guess we'll see, of course. And then again, tuition costs, horrible. This whole idea that you have to go to college to get a business job or other jobs like that, when you could be trained in 6 months, or probably even way less than that, to be able to do the same job that they're requiring you to get a 4-year degree for. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And that's obviously also a major expense that you have to pay for. It's just not a great situation. Again, the job market not being great is not great as well. Corporate greed and politics being kind of bad is not a great thing as well, of course. And then, of course, stuff like social media pressure or family and friends pressure. It's never a great thing to have to deal with. Of course, kind of a more personal thing to choose to, fall into that or approve of that, right? But still not fun to have around. It's still an external force we can't control. So again, don't get me wrong. All those things matter. Inflation is real. Gas prices are high. Corporate greed exists. Wars and economic instability affect our generation in massive ways. I understand that. But at the end of the day, what's the other option? We really only have two choices. We can give up, complain, fall into fear and hopelessness, or we can decide to control what we can control and make the best out of our bad situation. And honestly, when you think about it, like I said earlier, there's really only one real option: fighting back. Not because it's fair, not because it's easy, and not because we wanted this fight in the first place, but because there isn't any other path that leads anywhere good. So instead of surrendering to mediocrity, stress, and depression, the question becomes, how do we put ourselves in the best possible position despite everything going on around us? How do we become financially stronger in a weak economy? How do we stay disciplined when everything is getting more expensive? How do we build a future when the odds feel stacked against us? Because while we may not control the economy, we do control our habits, our mindset, our work ethic, and the decisions we make every single day. So instead of wasting energy wishing things were different, let's talk about how to make the best out of the situation we're actually in. The first section of things we can control is our spending habits, right? We might even be losing more money because of inflation. We might be losing more money because of gas prices. But if we're just wasting money in general on these impulse purchases, then we can't really complain about the money lost to those external things, right? So how are your impulse purchases? Are you buying a bunch of stuff on impulse, or are you thinking through every decision you make? Are you door dashing, or even worse, are you door dashing every week or even every day? Because that is a lot of extra money you're spending on convenience fees, tips, delivery fees, all that stuff, right? How about lifestyle inflation, right? We talk about normal inflation, but what happens when you get a new paycheck? Do you automatically start spending more money, or do you save more money? Do you invest more money, right? Because if you're just spending more money with every paycheck, then your raise doesn't matter. And then you can't really complain about inflation either. Are you buying things for validation, trying to look cool, trying to impress a girl maybe, trying to impress a guy? I don't know what it might look like for you watching this, but there are a lot of things that can go into this. But another category that we can control is debt, right? Debt is huge because basically what interest is, especially on debt, is you're paying money for things that you bought in the past and that you aren't going to be using in the future or already own, and so it just feels like you're spending extra money. A big one is car loans. Car loans kill. Get a nice used car that's going to last you a while, but it's a good investment in your future. That's going to go so much further than an expensive car loan that you have to keep paying and paying and paying for, especially if it's on a brand new car, which usually it is, right? Because then you're taking the massive depreciation hit the second you drive it off the lot, but then you're also having to pay the loan back, and it's just not a great time. Credit card debt is basically inexcusable if you want to be financially successful, because it's basically just credit card debt is buying things that you can't afford. And sure, that's the thing with all debt, but credit card debt is especially petty because it's usually like just day-to-day stuff. Like, if you can't afford fast food and you're putting it on a credit card, oh man, that's just terrible. It just is. So credit card debt, you have to get out of that. You have to pay it off. I know that can be really hard, but you just have to dial in and get it knocked out. Another thing is gambling. I don't know if I would technically call this debt, but it kind of can be, right? Because it's just a waste of money. Gambling is basically a tax on the poor. It sounds stupid, but the only real people that are playing the lottery a lot or gambling a lot is poor people, because they're looking to get their lucky break, and it's just not worth it, right? Of course, rich people still gamble a lot too, but it just doesn't affect them. That money doesn't really matter as much. So you got to be careful with that. And then buy now, pay later culture with Klarna. Is it Affirm? We have so many different stupid buy now, pay later things that we just don't need to be using. It gets us trapped further and further in this bad money cycle, and we just spend more money on things we don't need in the first place. It's just bad. But let's take a step back here, because I could talk about money things all day and money decisions, because those things are really important, but there's also other things that really impact your wealth as well that aren't directly related to money. And the big thing is time. Are you doom scrolling? This might sound stupid because Instagram's free and we can just scroll, but let me use a basic economics term here. Opportunity cost, right? Opportunity cost is basically what else could you be doing with your time? It's really that simple. And so could you be working a $20 an hour job while at the same time you're doom scrolling, right? You might doom scroll for 5 hours in a day. I've seen it done. It's terrible, but man, you could have earned $100 doing something else instead of just sitting there scrolling, seeing a bunch of information you're going to forget in the next minute, right? It's really that simple. Opportunity cost is a big deal. What else could you be doing with your time? Gaming 8 hours a day, it's the same thing. What else could you be doing with your time? Gaming is great. I love playing a video game from time to time, right? You're seeing it on your screen right now, but do it in moderation. Do it when you have everything else in your life taken care of, right? Don't just be spending a whole day doing that crap. Another thing is wasting years instead of building skills. wasting years building skills investing or building a business, whatever it might look like, right? This could also just be looking like delaying investing, even though you have the money to invest, you just choose not to, and then you're missing out on interest growing for you, right? Another category we can look at is discipline. Discipline in your budget. Number one, making a budget, but also keeping that budget and just other stuff with that, of course. Working consistently. This is something that I feel like our generation doesn't do at all. We work a little bit, but we don't work hard, or we just like let other people pick up our slack for us, stuff like that. Delaying gratification is another form of discipline. Being like, hey, I want to make this purchase, but let me wait a week to make sure I actually want to make this purchase, right? Or it's, hey, I've really had a long day. I really want like a large shake from Five Guys, which for some reason costs like $6 to $8, which is absolutely insane. But it's like, do I really need it? I don't. I just need to go home and go to bed. It's really that simple, right? Another thing is learning useful skills. This takes discipline. This takes hard work. You're not going to learn useful skills by not taking active steps and making yourself uncomfortable, right? You have to do those things. But one of the biggest things that really goes untalked about a lot, especially when it comes to money and things we can control, is our environment. Man, one of the biggest things is having good friends. I have great friends around me, and I can tell you it's benefited my finances a lot. They don't encourage me to spend a bunch of money. They don't encourage me to gamble. They don't encourage me to do anything stupid. They encourage me to actually be a good steward of my money, right? And so find those types of friends in your life. And this goes to your girlfriend as well and your wife as well. You want to make sure that you're taking care of those areas of your life. If you're a girl watching this, maybe that's your boyfriend or your husband, of course, right? Overall, you just want to make sure that your friends are influencing you in a good way. And this goes beyond money as well, but it also goes for money too. Comparison culture is another thing about environment. I absolutely hate comparison culture, but it's such a thing. Comparison is the thief of joy because you're like, oh, I don't have enough. Oh, I wish I had what they had. It's a whole big trap, and you just don't want to get into it. Another thing is just toxic habits, picking up those from people around you, of course, but just normalize bad habits as well, like debt. Debt is a major normalized habit, but it's just a terrible habit at that. Again, like I said earlier, there are things that we can't control. We can't control inflation. We can't control the gas prices. We can't control when we go to war. We can't control the housing market unless we're going to get a career in that field and like make a difference, right? But we do have things we can control, and those things are just as important as the things we can't control. So yes, the world is difficult right now, but becoming disciplined, wise, and intentional with money still gives you a huge advantage over most people. The goal isn't to control everything. It's to take responsibility for the part you can control. And it's really that simple. Check out another video of mine on your screen right now. If you enjoyed this one and watched to the end, you're going to enjoy that one as well. So check it out.